Taiwan's first domestically developed optical remote sensing satellite constellation. Up to 84% of its key components were developed domestically under TASA's lead. The constellation comprises 6 1-meter optical remote sensing satellites and 2 sub-meter higher resolution satellites. The first Formosat 8 satellite launches in 2025. Its optical payload functions as a large space-based camera with a focal length of 3,927 millimeters. Multispectral filters capture panchromatic and spectral images for use in homeland security, agriculture, and environmental monitoring. Time delay integration technology is used to accumulate multiple exposures in sync, significantly enhancing image quality and clarity. The system can identify objects larger than 0.7 meters from 561 kilometers after image processing. It also contributes to space scientific observation, enabling academia to validate space payloads. Once the constellation is fully deployed, it will achieve global coverage and will pass over Taiwan 3 times daily, delivering timely and reliable Earth observation data to support disaster management, national security, and global collaboration. Formosat 8 marks a key step in bringing Taiwan's space technology to the world and advancing our role in international space missions.
The Falcon 9 rocket supporting today's mission is a 2-stage rocket designed for the reliable and safe transportation of satellites, cargo, and people. Starting from the very top of the rocket, we have the payload fairing. The fairing is a protective shell that houses all of the payloads, shielding them from aerodynamic heating until the vehicle is outside of Earth's atmosphere.
The shape of the fairing contributes to Falcon 9's overall efficiency, helping to reduce drag during flight. Once in space, the 2 fairing halves separate and fall back to Earth, where they will be recovered by our recovery vessel to be refurbished and reused on future flights. Both halves of this fairing are flight-proven, with one side flying for its 5th time and the other for its 4th.
And within that fairing is today's payload stack. Here's a photo from midway through the encapsulation operation, just before the fairing halves were closed in preparation for flight. And here is a live view inside the 2nd stage as we await liftoff.
Right below the fairing is Falcon 9's 2nd stage, which houses a single Merlin vacuum engine, or MVAC engine. Below the 2nd stage is the black carbon fiber inner stage, and inside of that is where the MVAC engine is located. The inner stage connects the 2 stages and houses a center pusher that allows the 1st and 2nd stages to separate from one another during flight. And below that, we have the 1st stage, or the booster. The 1st stage makes up the bottom 2/3 of the vehicle and has 9 Merlin M1D engines at the bottom, which generate more than 1.7 million pounds of thrust.
The 1st stage supporting today's mission will be making its 30th flight today, and this is the 2nd time that we are flying a booster 30 times. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the 1st stage will separate and make its way back to Earth. Today, the booster is headed for a drone ship landing on Of Course I Still Love You, which is currently stationed in the Pacific.
Many of the payloads on today's flight are manifested by ExoLaunch, a long-standing SpaceX customer. In fact, ExoLaunch has had payloads on every transporter mission since the beginning of the program.
ExoLaunch has successfully deployed nearly 500 satellites with SpaceX since 2020, flying on Falcon 9 to sun-synchronous and mid-inclination orbits, and Falcon Heavy to geostationary orbit. This is ExoLaunch's 41st mission in total and 15th transporter mission with SpaceX, and it's also their largest mission to date.
ExoLaunch is set to deploy 58 payloads today, enabling launch access for more than 30 commercial, institutional, and government customers from 16 countries. Here's more from ExoLaunch.
ExoLaunch is the global leader in satellite launch mission management, manufacturer of industry-leading satellite separation systems, and a launch integrator on rideshare missions. The company has demonstrated unmatched flight heritage and consistent execution across 40 missions on global launch vehicles, deploying close to 600 customer satellites safely into orbit.
Exolaunch, headquartered in Germany, operates globally with offices in the US, France, and Japan. Exolaunch is a long-standing customer of SpaceX and the only launch integrator with payloads manifested on every transporter mission since the rideshare program began in 2020. Over 475 satellites have deployed with SpaceX since then.
Exolaunch enables access to space and provides end-to-end launch mission management, from launch planning, launch capacity procurement, comprehensive mission management, including customs clearance, and satellite transportation to the launch site, satellite integration of the launch vehicle, and a safe satellite deployment into your target orbit through our proprietary separation systems.
Transporter 15, our largest mission to date, features multiple satellite constellations and single satellite missions for our long-standing and new customers. As with previous missions, Exolaunch is utilizing its portfolio of flight-proven deployment systems on Transporter 15. Carbonic separation rings in multiple sizes for precise and shock-free microsatellite separation, Exapod Nova deployers for both standard and high-volume, high-mass CubeSats, Quadro Aero 4-point microsatellite separation systems for synchronized, low tip-off deployments, and Exolaunch will also utilize its latest, much stiffer, flight-proven separation system, Carbonix Neo.
Earlier this year, Exolaunch announced new multi-year contracts with SpaceX to continue launching aboard SpaceX rideshare missions through 2028 and securing launch capacity for Exolaunch's customers for years ahead. We're deeply grateful to SpaceX for enabling easy, reliable, and regular access to space for the global smallsat community. And we thank all of our customers for their continued trust and partnership.
Go Transporter 15 and go Falcon 9.
At T-minus 5 minutes and 35 seconds, all systems continue to be a go for an on-time liftoff. Coming up shortly, the Transporter Erector, or the TE, will retract in order to clear the way for Falcon 9's ascent. You might hear it referred to as the strongback from the launch team, though the strongback is one of the components of the TE that is alongside Falcon 9. It's designed to transport, raise, and support Falcon 9 at the launch pad, and it's also equipped with umbilicals, or these flexible lines that are used to route the vehicle's fluids, power, and telemetry from the ground systems to the rocket and payload until Falcon 9 switches to internal power and clears the pad.
Falcon 9 tanks are pressing for strongback retract.
That's a good indication that we are on track for an on-time liftoff as the Transporter Erector prepares to retract. We're just about 20 seconds away from starting to see those clamp arms opening around the second stage on our vehicle stack. Those clamps help stabilize the second stage during fueling and prevent movement in high winds. Once they're open, the rocket will be fully free at the top.
Strongback recheck.
You can see those arms coming open now. It's going to take about 15 seconds for them to fully open, but once they're out of the way, the strongback will recline away from the vehicle and give it room for liftoff. Now that those arms are fully open, the rocket is free at the top. The launch tower's strongback is now moving away from Falcon 9, allowing it to stand freely before liftoff. And there we can see that the strongback has fully reclined.
Now at T-minus 3 minutes and 23 seconds and counting down, all systems are currently go for an on-time liftoff. Rideshare missions like today's significantly increase access to space for small satellite operators around the world, and we're excited to be able to offer these launch opportunities for our customers.
In addition to helping drive down the cost of access to space by flying reusable vehicles, dedicated rideshare flights provide small satellite operators competitive pricing, increased flight opportunities, and flexibility. Overall, SpaceX's rideshare program has enabled our customers...
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Go.
There was a good call out that liquid oxygen loading for the first stage has finished, finalizing propellant loading for the booster. Overall, SpaceX's rideshare program has enabled our customers to iterate on their technologies and grow at scale. There are all types of spacecraft on these missions, everything from payloads for the US government, to constellation deployments, to technology demonstrators, to re-entry vehicles. And we've also seen several countries launch their first spacecraft ever on board transporter missions, tons of student efforts, and even a father-daughter CubeSat project.
And we're excited to see how Starship, our next generation launch vehicle currently in development, will take rideshare to the next level. For more information on SpaceX's rideshare program, visit spacex.com/rideshare.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Great call out there, indicating that liquid oxygen for the second stage is now fully loaded, completing prop load for the upper stage. Those white clouds venting from the rocket is not smoke.
Ground gas closeouts.
That is condensation. And we just heard that the call out for the gas closeout has started, and that refers to the venting and closing out of the gaseous systems, such as the topping off of the tanks and sealing vents to maintain pressure inside of the tanks. So we're now standing by for confirmation that Falcon 9 is in startup, which will be coming up within the next 10 seconds at the T-1 minute mark.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Now at this point, the autonomous flight computers have taken over the launch countdown, and stages 1 and 2 are pressurizing for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And with that note from the launch director, all systems are go for launch of Transporter 15.
Thirty seconds. Seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Transporter 15.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
MOD chamber pressures are nominal.
At T plus 31 seconds into flight, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. We're currently throttling down to prepare for max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic stress on the vehicle.
Nominal.
Max Q is reached when the air density of the atmosphere decreases faster than the increasing speed of the rocket.
Mach 1. Max Q.
And there's the call out for Max Q. Merlin engines are back at full power, and we're out of the throttle bucket. From here on, even though velocity is rapidly increasing, the atmospheric density is decreasing, resulting in less loads on Falcon 9. So coming up next, we'll have several events happening in quick succession, starting with MECO, followed by stage separation, and second engine start, or SES-1. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation, where the first stage separates from the second stage. Then the MVAC engine on the second stage will light, which is called out as second engine start 1, or SES-1. This engine burn, lasting several minutes, will propel the second stage and our payloads to orbit. After that, the fairing will jettison from the second stage, as it's no longer needed to protect the payloads once we're in space.
Nominal trajectory.
We should be hearing the first of these callouts in about 10 seconds from now.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC startup.
And there you heard and saw those three events that happened back to back, including main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Coming up next will be fairing separation in about 20 seconds from now. We should be hearing that call out for fairing separation in just a few moments from now.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there, we just heard confirmation of fairing separation, along with a view of those two halves separating from the vehicle on your screen. As a reminder, those fairings will make their way back to Earth for recovery. The next major milestone coming up is entry burn on our Falcon 9 first stage, which is scheduled to occur around the T+6 minute mark. The entry burn is used to slow the first stage down as it heads back towards our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You.
We're currently in our first MVAC burn, and this burn should last for another few minutes. The next milestone will be the first stage entry burn, coming up in about 2 minutes from now. Today, Falcon 9 is performing 2 burns in order to land. The first burn, known as the entry burn, slows the vehicle down before hitting the denser parts of Earth's atmosphere. Without this burn, we'd only be using the atmospheric drag to slow down Falcon 9, which would add extra stress to the vehicle.
Following entry burn, the booster will initiate the landing burn, which should slow the vehicle down even more for a successful landing. When Falcon 9 fires up the center M1D engine for re-entry, the vehicle will be flying through Merlin's exhaust gases, also known as the rocket's plume, which deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle surface. You'll see these marks across the flight-proven Falcon 9 first stage fleet, and that soot comes from the carbon-based fuel that Falcon 9 uses, and with each flight, the soot builds up a little bit more on the outside of the vehicle. Today's booster is a veteran and no stranger to rideshare missions, having flown 29 missions prior to today's flight, including Transporter 14, Bandwagon 2, Transporter 9, and Transporter 8. Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 hypersonic grid fins positioned near the top of the first stage that help steer the first stage as it returns to Earth, and we have a great view of 2 of them on our screen right now.
We are moments away from the beginning of the entry burn. You should see the graphics light up as the engines do on the bottom of your screen.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS has safed.
And there's the call out for the entry burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage. This burn is set to last about 30 seconds and again is slowing down the vehicle in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And that concludes our entry burn. As
Both vehicles remain on a nominal trajectory.
As mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to recover this booster. Today, the booster is targeting a landing on our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. Today's landing burn attempt will be a 3-engine landing burn, where engines 1, 5, and 9 will relight to really quickly slow down the vehicle before touchdown.
You can follow along with the burn in the engine graphic at the bottom of your screen. As this burn happens, you'll notice a decrease in both speed and altitude. And during the landing burn, we're expecting the shutdown of the second stage MVAC engine, which is known as Second Engine Cutoff 1, or SES, or SECO 1. We have both events coming up in just a minute.
Stage 1 transonic.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Stage 2, Stage 1 landing burn.
And there you heard that call out for landing burn start on the Falcon 9 first stage. Again, this is the final burn that this booster will execute before touching down.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
As you saw and probably heard, we had a successful first stage landing.
Nominal orbit insertion.
That was successful cutoff of our second stage engine, and we heard the call out for good orbit. Coming up next, we have the second burn of our MVAC engine on board the second stage, or SES-2, around the T plus 51 minute mark.
The first batch of deployments today will begin at about T plus 54 minutes. We'll be back at around T plus 50 minutes to bring you live coverage of SES-2. Until then, enjoy our space tracks and we'll see you soon.